What is going on, guys? Satsuki the Savage here, and today is going to be the final exam review for Assassin's Pride, alright? Oh no, this series, bro. I'm gonna let y'all know, just like with the Satsuki final exam review, that wasn't really a view, more of a rant. This video is going to be more of the same because, spoiler alert, I did not really enjoy Assassin's Pride. I just finished it because I needed to finish it to make this video, alright? So, if you are a fan of this series, I advise you not to watch this video because there will be a lot of complaining. There will be bitching from me, okay? And there will be spoilers as well. So if you haven't checked out the series at all, don't watch this video. Watch the first impressions that I made of it. That's kind of spoiler free, so that'll be more up your alley if you haven't seen the video or this series. But with that being said, let's get started. For the brief synopsis, Assassin's Pride is a series that tells the story of a mage with no aptitude for mana, Melida Angel. Melida's incompetence as a mage feeds into the rumor that she is a child born from an affair on the part of her mother, so in turn, an instructor, Kufa Vampire, is hired to train Melida. While Kufa has his duty as an instructor to Melida, his other task is to assassinate Melida should she show no promise. Given the synopsis of Assassin's Pride, one can imagine the potential of the series. The layout gives hope for an intriguing, complex relationship between the two main characters, a riveting underdog narrative, and maybe even some enticing family drama, until you actually watch the series. The problem is deeper than Assassin's Pride falling short of my expectations. For a majority of the time, the series feels aimless in its direction. Starting with the main plot of the series, Melida's father is at the center of the drama that lies in the series, yet he is hardly in the show. Melida's objective is to prove herself to others who doubted her, especially her father, but again, her relationship with her dad is not fleshed out for us to care or empathize with Melida. This series is supposedly about the growth of Melida and whatnot, but there are some episodes where that narrative is discarded, all in favor of fighting random ass villains that have nothing to do with the main plot. For example, even though episode 6 included Mule and Salacha, who had a role in the end of the series, this episode felt like complete filler. All that happens is Melida and friends have a party, they read some bogus fairy tale, and Kufa essentially plays a prank on them. While filler isn't inherently bad, for a series that consists of only 12 episodes, one filler-like episode is an absolute waste of time, especially when it does nothing to push the plot forward, nor develop the characters. Moving on, do you remember the whole Kufa killing Melida bit being a part of the synopsis? Well, it's only relevant in the first episode, which works duly to diminish an interesting dynamic between Melida and Kufa and remove tension from the story. Melida struggles in the beginning of the series for about 2 episodes. After that, she pretty much solidifies herself as a strong mage, so the threat of a Kufa assassination, which was a big part of the synopsis, is null and void. Lastly, for the plot, the public's disdain of Melida makes no sense whatsoever. Everyone hates Melida in the beginning because she's not gifted, which would make sense for the school teens who are just natural assholes and the people part of the LSA faction being jealous of Melida's standing. But everyone else, their hatred is completely unwarranted. There were people shown to despise Melida purely because of an unfounded rumor of her being born out of infidelity, as if that's Melida's fault. Maybe it's because Melida's mother is dead that people choose to redirect their anger on her daughter, but I have a hard time understanding the basis of the anger in the first place. Side complaint before I get into the characters, this series does not even attempt to fully explain the mage classes at all. Normally, I wouldn't care too much about this detail, but when classes are repeatedly referenced throughout the show, the paladin and samurai classes in particular, it would behoove the writers to make an effort to describe what these classes entail. Otherwise, they have little importance. Maybe this series expected us to already have some RPG knowledge before watching, so in turn, they gloss over the classes, but I don't think it's too much to ask to dedicate a smidgen of time to the power system. The characters as a whole, I actually don't have a problem with. I like Melida throughout the series, mainly because I resonate with the underdog narrative. Seeing Melida's classmates bash and demean her made me root for Melida to rise and shut them all the fuck up. The growth of Melida was satisfying. I love to see the progression from the scared girl with no confidence to a fierce warrior full of conviction. The training from Kufa molded Melida well,
both in her fighting style and her having a willingness to fight dirty, which was a cool contrast to her noble upbringing. I believe the key to Melida's success as a character was having her pursue her goal to be accepted by everyone while making sure she was the one to prove herself and not Kufa. I say this because series often give their heroines the dreaded damsel in distress position, but Melida had a good balance of relying on Kufa and being able to hold her own, which I liked. As for Kufa, I don't have much to add that I didn't say in my first impressions. He was a consistently cool character. With Kufa being a mentor to Melida, him not really developing is perfectly fine, as I thought of him as the rock of the series. Kufa is supposed to be the well-established character with all the knowledge and skills, so I expected him to be the same character from the first episode to the end of the show. Kufa is pretty chill as a character. There's not much of anything to dislike about him. He provides good fights for the series, and he looks like a discount Kirito. The dynamic of Kufa and Melida was decent too, even though, as I said before, it could have been more intriguing had we followed through with the assassination mission. Kufa throughout the series began to truly respect Melida's talent and develop a deep bond with her as her master. Where things start to get weird is the romantic side of the relationship, which started as mere undertones but manifested in more conclusive actions, which I wasn't too comfortable with. I won't dwell on it much since the series didn't take it too far, but it's hard for me to ship Melida, who looks and acts like a borderline preteen, with a guy that seems mature enough to be in his mid-20s, even though, yes, their actual ages aren't that far apart. Rose was another fun character I enjoyed. She added most of the lightheartedness in Assassin's Pride, plus she was a capable instructor and fighter. The only character that fell flat in the main cast was Elise. On numerous occasions, Elise's superiority over Melida was expressed through exposition and an early showing of power, but when it really counted, Elise regressed to the shrinking violent archetype. This gripe isn't because I'm a meathead that demands a rival for Melida. I have this issue because Elise being a stronger mage was a real dilemma in the show, but it was destroyed along with my hopes of Elise being a good character. Elise was fully content playing second fiddle to Melida, as if the writers told her, "Stop being powerful, this isn't your damn show." And even worse, she was useless in a lot of critical moments that demanded her skills. Aside from Elise though, I didn't have an issue with anyone else, so the characters get a passing grade from me. Art and animation of the show is basic, from the character designs to the scenes in motion. The visuals are not too impressive, but they are serviceable. If a series only appeals to you because of the fights looking raw, I advise you to ignore Assassin's Pride, because while there are some fights that can look good, like the opening fight in episode 1, for the most part, you are not getting some top-notch stunning animation here. Unfortunately, it seems as if the reputation of the studio EMT Swear has yet to increase by much, as it is still looking for a series to hang its hat on in terms of quality. Overall, my thoughts on this series haven't drastically changed from when I made my first impressions video. I think this show is below average and on a good day is mid, so it's a show I would avoid watching, but you guys can be the judge of that. Crunchyroll, High Dive, and Verb are the places you can go to hunt for Assassin's Pride, as I've been told that I was hoarding this series. Hopefully though, if you haven't already watched the series for whatever reason, you enjoy it more than I did.
Alright guys, that is it for my final exam review for this series. Let me know what you think of Assassin's Pride. Did you think it was below mid like I did? Because, oh man, this series, it wasn't a fun ride. It wasn't a fun ride for me. But comment your thoughts below, guys. Like, subscribe. Satsuki the Savage. I'm out. Am I dying to live? Or am I living to